Hi everyone, this is Mark Siegel. In this video, I'm going to show you three things. I'm going to show you how to create a site, I'm going to show you how to add pages to your site for each of your classes, and I'm going to show you how to edit those pages to make your information clear and succinct for your students and your parents. So the first thing you want to do is open up a blank tab, and you want to go to sites.google.com. And you're going to be asked to log in. Now, if you do this in school, you'll only get the login page. I get something a little bit different because I'm not recording this in school. Okay, so when you first log in to Google, you're going to get the list of all the different websites that you currently have. Now, if you don't have a website, you will see nothing, obviously. But I'm going to create my own site. I'm going to create a brand new site. So I click this red button on the left that says Create. Now, you can use a blank website to start, like completely from scratch, but we actually have one already created for Middletown South, so I'm going to click Browse the Gallery for more. And what I want is this MHSS Basic Teacher Template, and that's what it's going to basically look like. So I'm going to scroll down. You'll see a blue button that says Select, so I'm going to click Select. And that's the template, and I've got to give my template a name. So I'm going to say Siegel's Google page. Now you see it creates a custom link at the bottom, and I'm going to just change this to Siegel Google at the bottom. Now this huge URL is going to be your actual URL, and later in another thing I'm going to show you how to create a custom little link so that you don't have to type that huge gigantic thing all the way out to your students every time you send out your page. So now I know that this huge thing / Google Siegel Google will be my website, and I'm going to click the big red Create button. Now, one warning: once you create your site, it's your site for, even if you delete it, for a minimum of 30 days. So make sure you think about the name of your site before you type it in, because we can't change it once it's done. Okay, we'd have to delete the entire site and start from scratch. Okay, so this is the basic layout that we've got when we set up this template. If you didn't use a template, you're going to end up with a big blank screen, basically. Now, there are a couple of important buttons that I want to point out in the upper right-hand corner. This pen button is your edit page button. This thing that says new page is, guess what? Adding new pages. The gear button, we're going to talk about that in a minute. And then the share button when we're all done. Now currently, it's set to default to share to everyone in Middletown. And we're going to keep it like that for a while until we get a little bit more public with stuff. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you how to add more pages. So I'm going to click this new page button in the middle. And I want to give it a page name. So I'm going to call this the Google Sites page. Now, when I look at my template to use, I can use web page, which looks like a standard web page. I can use an announcements page, which kind of looks like like what you would expect an email announcements. It's just lists of different things that are happening on your website that you're posting. I can do a file cabinet, so I can have a page solely dedicated to sending out files. That's great if you want to share a large number of files with students, but you're not using Google Drive. I can do a list page, start page, which looks the same, and then I don't want to do any of the other ones. Okay, and I want this to be at the same level as my start page. Now, when I'm done, I click Create. So you can keep, what I would recommend is create all of your pages for all your different classes right off the bat, so that, and then go back and edit them individually. So when you first create the page, it'll ask you to edit. And I'm just going to click Save so that you can see what the blank page is. You'll notice on the left-hand side, the Google Sites page is now available. If I click Home, it'll bring me back to the main page. Google Sites, etc., grading policy, all the way down. So this is my navigation bar, and I'm going to show you in a later video how you can change your navigation bar. So now that I've created this Google Sites page, I want to edit it. So I'm going to click on this Edit Page button, which is the pen in the upper right corner. So now I've got some options up here. So I can insert something, text boxes, HTML, etc., a calendar, charts, so on and so forth. Since I'm linked to my Google Drive, I can actually insert things directly from Google Drive or Google+, photos, etc., charts, my calendars, so on and so forth. So one of the things I think is the most important, and I've shown you this before, is the calendar feature. So I can insert my calendars. Now, which calendar do I want to add? Well, I don't have a Google Calendar, so I'm going to just add my Honors Chem calendar. I don't like to play with the size and stuff right off the bat. I like to see what it's going to look like first, so I'm going to click Save. Now, you'll notice that the gadget does not appear immediately. If I want to see what it's going to look like, I got to click that blue Save button in the upper right corner. So I'm going to click that right now so I can see what my calendar looks like. And you know what? It's big, but I'm okay with it. For right now, it serves the purpose. I'm going to click my Edit Page button. Now, I want to add some text here. So I'm going to hit Enter and move my calendar down a couple lines. This is the site for Mr. Siegel's Google Sites information demo stuff. Okay, so it works like a basic editing program. If I want to change the text, I can go to Insert. I can change the color, red. Oops. I can change it to red, or I can change it. I like dark red. Okay, I can change it to red. I can make it bold. Obviously, 10-point font is not great for the eyes. 24 is a little big. You know, you can keep playing around with it until you find something. Until you can find a format that you're happy with, whatever it happens to be. I can add tables. If I feel that table is important, again, it's more of this is playing around with stuff than anything else. You can play with the layout. If you don't want it in one big stream and you want to split it up into multiple columns, you can do that. You can change where your sidebar, you have a little sidebar on the side, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of different things you can do. The real key to this is you got to play. And no matter what, when you're done, click Save. Always remember to click Save when you get to the end so that you can see what your page is going to look like. You will also notice at the bottom there's this Add Files button. And this is the last thing I'm going to show you. If I click Add Files, it will pull files directly from your computer. So I can say, okay, I want this equation sheet for tests. So this is why it's important to create different pages, because you don't want all your files for all your classes ending up in one site. If I only want my site's information, well, and now I have some standardized files that only go with this particular page, and they'll appear at the bottom. And that's basically how you set up your first site. Like I said, it's time and being creative and playing around with it. Go in there, play with the different settings, watch the next video. Each of the videos that come after this list are going to add one new different type of technique to sites. So this is your most basic, and then we'll start to get more advanced in the next video.